Well, we're gonna find out. So, if you are joining us, just joining us, we're on our Fire Escape, and we're trying out our. Yeah, she can hear us now. We're trying out our mobile solution, basically, because we want to be able to do like interviews on scene, and we want to be able to. Basically, there's a lot of sake events coming up next month, and we want to be ready for them. And so we basically just went out on our Fire Escape, and we're trying some things out.
Yeah, it's the perfect day for it. I guess if you couldn't hear us before, it's sunny. The sun's gone down, so like 75. We've got cold sake. Today we're drinking Ryujin Dragon God.
We love Ryujin.
And it's one that I recommend to people who are new to sake and people who already know a lot about it because I think it's very well balanced and it just has a lot to offer. It's very smooth, a little fruity. It's not too far in either direction. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've recommended the sake to anyone who hasn't liked it. So if you're new or you're looking to get people into it or you already like it, great place. And it's great price too.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really one of the best sakes for the price. You can get this Magnum in New York for low 50s, which is like a really great price for this. It's really good.
Yeah, so this is the 1.8 liter, which is...
Yeah, is it 1.8 or 1.8 liter? That's a lot.
How many
That's a lot of sake.
bottles is that? 2?
It's like 2 and change. It's a little more because the regular is like 720 milliliters. So let's see, who's good at doing that? I'm not. Either way, it's really great. It's very tasty. We actually did this as one of the items in our tasting event last month, and it was a big hit, I thought. Yeah, and we also have the latest issue of Sake Today, which is coming in backwards on the camera, unfortunately.
So you get this delivered monthly?
We do, yeah. Oh no, it's not monthly. It's like a quarterly thing.
Oh, yeah, this is the summer 17.
Yeah, and I don't think there's enough going on in sake in English to warrant a monthly magazine. But one of the things we got this today, and we're like, oh well, maybe we'll just talk about that a little bit while we drink. So here we are, we're drinking. We have it.
Actually, I saw this and I was really excited because this one we've had, and not only have we had it, but we love it.
Oh yeah, we do have an empty of that, I think.
And on the back, one of the first things, it's a big Desai ad. There's a new Desai store in Ginza.
Yeah, Desai has a store already in Chiyoda, Tokyo, which is like right by Tokyo Station. But apparently now they have a new store in Ginza.
It's right by the Millennium Mitsui Garden Hotel, Tokyo. If you're in Ginza, you know where that is. But the first thing that caught my eye is this Desai cream.
No, that's the worst fun.
No, it's good. Desai ice cream. I'm very excited. If you're in Japan and you've had it, please let us know because I'm super excited. We saw the Desai curry.
We have it. It's like sitting in our living room.
But I don't think that this is meant to pair with Desai. I think it's made with Desai.
Probably. It's probably made with the lees.
Yeah. So if you're there, please taste it and please let me know.
Or if you can bring us back some and keep it cold, that would be great too.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all I've seen. I've just seen the front and the back, and I was already very excited. But you've perused through this a little bit already, right?
I did. I saw that they have an article. I saw they have an article on San Francisco and like the sake scene there. And I've never been to San Francisco. I've heard they have good sake in San Francisco, so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of like go and like say, what's a cool place in San Francisco to get sake?
So what do they usually have in here? Usually they feature some breweries. They
usually do like
events?
No, not so much events, but they'll be like, oh, this is an article about the local scene in some like North American city, and also there'll be a brewery thing, and what's that?
The sake scene in San Francisco.
Yeah. So it'll be like they did one for New York. They did one. They actually did one for Osaka once. They did one for Kyoto. It's like pretty cool that they're kind of like just being like, hey, you're an English speaker, you're going to be in one of these cities. Here's some places where you can get really good sake. I think that's cool.
Yeah, here's a feature on Hitachino beer.
Is that a feature or an ad? Oh yeah, it's proudly presents our classic and unique craft beers into San Francisco on draft.
Cool.
Draft Hitachino. That's not bad.
There's a sake course.
Yeah.
This is in Colorado. It's not in San Francisco.
Yeah, I guess yeah. So San Francisco. Yeah.
Ooh, we've got izakayas.
What do they have there? What is that? What's that? Izakaya Yuzuki.
And
Umi looks like a sushi place. Whoa. Hello. All right, so we gotta show them this chicken and waffle thing.
It's chicken and waffles with matcha butter paired with Bourne's Gold Junmai Ginjo. So not only are they doing Japanese take on like American food, but then they're pairing it with sake on top of that.
Pretty cool. That's something we can totally do if we're in San Francisco. Actually, we have some friends in San Francisco right now.
So if you are in San Francisco, you should definitely go there and tell us if it's good. This is just gonna be a request. This episode is just telling all of our friends
To go places,
all
yeah.
these fun things for us.
Yeah. Oh, one day we'll get to San Francisco.
Ooh,
What do you have?
This is a feature about acidity.
Okay, and it's actually about John Gardner, who is John Gardner, one of the more knowledgeable, probably one of the most knowledgeable English-speaking, sake voices out there right now. He's one of the he helps publish this. Ooh, Sake Day. Hell,
Yeah, Sake Day,
hell yeah.
September 30th.
September 30th. Oh,
Japantown. I guess this isn't.
that's in San Francisco. Japantown is in San Francisco. I've heard that their Sake Day is like really great. They have a lot of people just out on the street selling sake, and that's like really cool. Also, in New York would be completely illegal, which is very sad. So where you're from, they let you drink on the street. Congratulations.
Also, if you are like, wow, this magazine seems super cool, apparently you can get digital back issues on, this is Apple App Store only, so sorry if you don't have an iPhone, but it's sake-today.com/orders. So if this sounds super cool to you, that's where you can get digital versions right now, the older ones.
I think they also allow for Android. I'm not sure. I thought about converting mine into into digital because paper,
Ooh, and then this brewery featured today is Gekikon.
which is in the U.S.
Very cool.
So they're doing some stuff. It's pretty. They're also they have an interview with with a brewer, and they talk about Heiwa Shozo, which makes Kido sake, which is a very, very popular, trendy sake. It's like it's going to be next after people are done with Juyondai, and Jikon Kid is going to be the next big one.
So there's also in this feature, they are showing the inside of the Gekikon brewing room.
Is this the Jikon or is this the
I think it's still the Gekikon, is it?
No, it's the Heizo.
Oh, you're right.
Sorry, Heiwa. Heizo's a name.
But they're showing
Beautiful.
the holding tanks,
Yeah, those are really nice.
which we've seen how many breweries now? 3, I think.
2.
We saw Hokkaisan, and we saw Brooklyn Kura. They're little tiny breweries.
True. I mean, that was like one room though. All right, she has a point.
But we saw their old one.
We did.
Anyway, and so holding tanks are a big part of storing the sake and making the sake. And
This
so-
is where the sake ages for its small amount of time.
We've seen the 2 big ones, and then the one little brewery before they get their big final home. But it's interesting to see how they store it and arrange it, and like what they do. So that's pretty cool to have that feature in here.
Yeah,
And it's arranged in place to go.
it looks really cool. I mean, it looks a lot more. I mean, 30 Wakura Bay. I don't know where Wakura Bay is.
Oh, it's hours south of Osaka.
How many hours?
Hours.
Oh, hours. A couple of hours south of Osaka. Okay. Now, yeah, we don't go to southern Japan very often. But I've heard I've actually had some of Kid's stuff last year at Joy of Sake, and it was really great. It was one of those things that when I was asking people on the floor at Joy of Sake, like, hey, what do I need to try? What's really great this year? And everybody's like, go to that aisle over there and you try the Kid. I was like, all right, I'm on it. And I did, and it was wonderful. It was really great. And so looking forward to doing that again this year. Hopefully they'll be at Joy of Sake next month.
It's beautiful. Like all the colors and the pictures in the magazine are so pretty. It's so nice to look at.
There's very, very high production value on this. They really go the extra mile.
And there's like so much to learn about different parts of sake. You've got your feature on the brewery. You've got different types. You can learn about the geography. And it's not just sake. Like there was the Hitachino no beer section. There's a section for buying knives, food, the restaurants. It's pretty cool. And then this section, I'm really excited to read about acidity because I feel like we've just very recently been learning so much more about how, we've talked about how the value can be negative or positive which usually will tell you if it's going to be a sweet or dry sake. But recently, we've been learning how acidity can affect that, and even though it's like mid-range, like +5, +6, you can still get a dry taste if depending on the acidity. I mean, we're still learning about it, but that's something that's happened recently, and so I'm excited to read this article. It's coming right at a good time when we're starting to get interested in that and learning about how acidity does affect the flavor.
Yeah, it's kind of like been the next thing we've encountered a lot of, when we're in our sake education. And one thing about sake is I feel like we're always going to be learning, like forever. If we ever get to a point where we're not learning anymore, we're probably doing something wrong.
I mean, just when you think you got it locked down, where you're like, oh, positives, negatives, sweet, dry. Oh, just kidding. Acidity. No, that's an effect.
Hey, wait a second. Wait a minute. Is that an ice cream sandwich paired with a takano? I don't know if I want foie gras ice cream personally. Yeah. Oh, that is Tamagawa. I don't know personally about the foie gras ice cream, but I would love to find a sake that paired well with ice cream in general. Like I love a good vanilla ice cream.
Well, apparently Dasai pairs very well.
Well, they're making it with Lee's. That should be interesting. I want to try that. Definitely want to try that one day. But yeah, we definitely pairing is something that we want to work on more, I think.
Ooh, and here is another article talking about I'm never good at saying the words. Anyway, talking about the Yamahai versus Kimoto method. And apparently they have discussed this further in article number 7, issue number 7.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which one that was offhand.
But it's just another brewery showing their pasteurization and their brewery.
By the way, if you're just joining us now, we're kind of testing out our mobile setup and trying to get a microphone going on because we've done some impromptu mobile stuff and it sounded really bad, and we want to get it to sound better and just be more more accessible. More mobile.
So we can go on site. So what we have set up right now is we've got like a mini tripod.
Yeah.
I guess we can kind of turn
it around. You can't really show the tripod though. You're not going to see that.
You can see what we're. So we have our setup. This is where we go here. We've got our microphone plugged in, and we're outside. It's working.
Mm-hmm.
We are drinking the
Yeah,
Dragon God.
Ryujin. Yes, definitely a favorite, a big favorite. It's the Namazume Ginjo, and it is again one of the things we say about it is that it's one of the best like bang for your buck sakes.
I would say if you love sake already, great sake. If you are new to sake, great sake. Yeah. I don't think I've met anyone who didn't like it.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're about right there.
I recommended it to a few coworkers, and this was, I think, a couple of their first sake, and they loved it. Absolutely loved it. So
it's widely available in New York. It's very easy to get. It's from one of the bigger distributors, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And that's
so
and
having some sake on our makeshift balcony in the summer, we are perusing through the new issue of Sake Today.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, everything comes in mirrored, but that's a problem to fix next time. That's the
on-site version.
Yeah. In the future, we'll make that a little bit better.
And also, if you are just joining us, just in case you live near Ginza, I want to point this out to you so you can taste it and tell me about it. Dasai ice cream. Dasai ice cream.
Dasai ice cream at the new Dasai store in Ginza. I imagine that the Dasai bar 23 in Chiyoda probably has that too.
Let me know. If you're in Japan, you know where to get Dasai ice cream. Let me know, because next time we go, I definitely want some.
I'm sure. I wonder if other breweries make ice cream with their Lees also.
I don't see why.
They must, right? Yeah, probably.
We've just been talking about how beautiful all of the photos in here are, how these articles are interesting and informative, and cover so many different aspects. Like,
that's getting really deep into the brewing process there.
Really behind the scenes of their brewing process from all these different breweries, and it's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a supporter of Sake Today since the beginning.
And again, if you're also just joining us, since we're kind of in the middle, I'd like to remind everyone, if you're tuning in, you can get your own copies of the previous issues on the App Store. So if you search Sake Today, you can follow along with some older ones.
They may also do paper copies. I'm not sure though.
Oh, sure, yeah. You can, of course, get it for yourself at sake-today.com. But if you're learning about sake, interested in learning about sake, great resource. Very fun.
Yeah, it's nice. So,
Should we do a pairing?
do we have anything to pair with? Is it? What do you have? Oh, we have popped Rice Crisps. I don't know how well butter is gonna go with the sake.
Well, I was going to bring the chocolate and the crackers and everything too, just like we did last time, because I'm loving doing the pairings. But the chocolate did not go well last time, and I did not want to repeat of that. It was gross. So I did not bring the chocolate. It's good on its own, the little chocolate almonds that you got, but not with sake. Well, I want to have a snack.
Okay, she's going to have a snack.
I'll pair. I'll do this.
I'm gonna study this label a little bit. So this was actually apparently bottled in February of 2017. It's always nice to get recent stuff in New York because you don't always do that. Hang on this mic for a second. I'm gonna pour some more sake.
So I like the way now that we've we moved the camera and then put it back. Now it's like off kilter. I'm looking for this. Let me show some jokes.
Because you're on the brick wall.
We're on the brick wall. And I always tell jokes. Okay, so I've got a couple of popcorn crackers. So we were talking stats. What are the stats on this one?
Smells wonderful. Not really. It's Genshu. It's 16 to 17% alcohol by volume. Ryujin, as we've mentioned before, didn't go. I thought it might not.
Not good. Not a good pairing.
No, they're in Gunma, and Gunma is underrated. I think Gunma makes really good sake. You got a couple of really good breweries there.
All right, I feel like we're practicing our mobile on the go.
Yeah.
I should practice my interviewing skills.
Oh, really?
That's one of the things that we want to do. We've been going to Miss Sake, Jessica Jolie's Monday night sake happy hour. Soul of Sake, sake happy hour where she's doing oysters and sake at Sakamai.
In Lower East Side.
And great happy hour price. I think it's $9, right? It's $9 and you get 3 oysters and a glass of sake, which is amazing deal. It's Lower East Side.
Lower East Side, and every week she pairs the.
There's a different sake, and I think maybe a little bit different style to the oysters. I don't like oysters, but I've heard every time I go, everyone's raving about them, and I think they do some sort of sauce sometimes, like a little spicy. I'm not sure. You have to go and find out for yourself.
I think.
But we did.
I think tomorrow night it's going to be Tengumai Yamahai. I think. I could be mistaken though. If I'm wrong, sorry, Jessica. If I'm right, I hope some people show up that are not me, because I'll be there definitely.
So we did that. We got to interview with her, and Sake Man Red was there. Yes. Who joined us very sweetly. Who I feel like we've done some other on sites. Do you remember?
We did some stuff over at Rabbit House when during the kakaya tasting.
And that one, yes, the kakaya tasting with the Nama Genshu.
Yeah, also the Junmai Nama Genshus. Yeah,
very exciting stuff. And then was it the very next week?
When we had our tasting.
When we did our tasting, we did a little bit. So if that sounds fun to you, make sure you subscribe. But anyway, that's the kind of thing that we want to have a mobile setup for. We're gonna have like a light so we can do these things, and that's my interview skills. Yeah. So John Puma,
yes,
what are you drinking today?
So tonight I am drinking Ryujin. I feel like I've said this right tonight. Ryujin Dragon.
I know that was a bad question. I'm not getting warmed up.
Kakuchi Ginjo Namazume Ginjo.
When was the first time you had this?
Oh God, it's been a few years actually. I had this probably about 3 years ago, maybe about 2 years ago actually. I'm pretty sure I first had it at Sakamai. They'd gotten it in. I thought it was a really interesting sounding name. Really, Dragon God sounded like ooh, all right. I'll definitely try that. And then actually, after I tried it and I was really impressed, I found out that this brewer made is one of my favorite brewers already, because they also make Oze no Yokidoki, which is one of my favorite sakes.
My second question third question was going to be, did you pick it based on the label? Because there's a very spooky dragon.
It was recommended to me based on my preferences, based on my tasting preferences. Spooky dragon.
I think I've actually
like a tattoo.
Is this sake the one that I'm thinking of, where they kind of gave it a very interesting English translation to help people in America, English speakers, be more interested in sake based on the name and the label?
Not in this case. So the name of the brewery, Ryujin, literally means Dragon God. So they just went, that's us. I think it's really cool. I think it's interesting that I don't know how long they've been producing this particular label, But like Oze, I feel has been in the United States for a long time. They also have their beers here that they serve that are also labeled Oze. They have an IPA and a like a brown Weizen, I believe.
Oh yeah, the brown Weizen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Same guy.
I had that at one of Jessica's other solo sake events.
What was that? I forgot. I forgot which location it was. But
I've only been there twice, so I don't remember.
But yeah, I mean, like I think they're an underrated brewery. I think they're really great.
I think it's amazing too. Is this the only version of Dragon God that they make? Do they have a? I know this is the Genshu. Ginjo Genshu.
They make a Daiginjo, and it's a little pricey, so I don't get it very often. But it's absolutely one of my favorite sakes.
How would you describe the flavor compared to this one? So this one I'm thinking is kind of like a very vanilla, like deeper, not really quite musty, but definitely just like one of those lower profile, like down, deep, creamy almost, a little fruitiness, a little tiny bite just at the end to let you know it's there. That's how I would describe this one. Do you agree?
Yes.
And how
I
it
would drink it and then kind of recap my thoughts on it before I said anything. Now I haven't had the Daiginjo in a while, but I do remember it being just like superbly balanced. In other words, this sake has a lot of personality to it. It's got a lot of flavor. The fruitiness is kind of like up front. It's letting you know it's there.
if this sake were at a party, it would have a lot of friends.
Yeah,
Everyone would remember the sake at the party. If you're having a party, you should have the sake.
you probably should. In fact, I think we brought this sake to many parties.
It's such a, like, it's really just such like a personable, popular sake. Like I feel like it's unique in that way that basically everyone can find something to like about it, which can be kind of hard because there are so many different flavor profiles out there. If you think about introducing your friends to wine or to beer, this is just, I think it's great for that.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be when I was first getting into sake, people used to like err on the side of dry when they were doing that sort of thing. So it would be like, oh well, I want to introduce somebody to sake. I'm going to give them like Otokoyama, which was a very go-to, inoffensive, very dry sake, and it was one of the things I tried first when I was doing it, and nowadays I feel like giving them something a little bit more personality, a little more flavor is a better idea, and I think it gets a wider audience.
Well, would you say that we also have more options now than back then?
Definitely, I think that probably when I first started getting into sake in New York, there were maybe 200 different possibilities if you looked really hard. Nowadays, it's probably 400 or 600, which is great, and it's really wonderful.
I'm thinking that sounds like a lot, and then I remember that bar that we went to in Fukuoka that had like 600 on its own.
Yeah,
from one region.
Well, oh yeah, that was the Saga place. Yeah, it was all Saga. It had so many. He had like 3, 4, 5, 6 refrigerators full.
Right, but that we could see. He had a secret one, right, that we weren't allowed to go around and see.
Yeah, I was incorporating. I was counting that. But by the way, if you're ever in Fukuoka and you really want to try some good Saga sake, go to Sagagura. Just Google it. You'll have no problem finding it. And it is just this wonderful place with this outstanding selection of sake from Saga. You'll get there's going to be a lot of really...
We're live.
Yeah, a lot of excessive car exhaust and now alarms.
Okay, so I got to be honest. It's a little difficult being the interviewer. No, I'm loving it. Except I don't think I'm great at it yet because I keep trying to drink sake and eat chips while you're talking to me.
I'll
so why don't you tell me a story so that I can eat a couple chips and taste more of my summer sake?
I'm going to talk a little about Sagagura now because you should have some time to drink. So Sagagura we actually kind of stumbled upon that. We were in Fukuoka and really didn't know where to go, and so I busted out my phone and I started searching around on some sake apps and also on Google Maps. By the way, if you're in Japan, you can easily grab a Japanese keyboard from Google. You can actually grab it while you're in America or wherever you are. Install it, and then
you mean on the App Store?
Yeah, on the App Store, you can totally install. Yeah, you can totally install a secondary keyboard, and then if you're trying to find a sake bar, in wherever part of Japan you're in, you can really just like type in in the Japanese keyboard like Nihonshu, and it will fill in with the kanji of Nihonshu, which is sake, and you hit go, and you'll find surprisingly great stuff wherever you are, and that was part of the way we found Sagagura. And
I'm gonna hold it for you. And I also felt like Sakagura seemed to be celebrating sake and helping people become interested in sake. There were so many labels and different breweries, and when we would order the sake, he had a map and he would show us where in sake it was from and like different.
He also had like photos of the like Kurumoto for everyone.
Yeah, it was definitely amazing. So if you want to learn about sake or just enjoy sake or try 600 different kinds, that's a great place to go.
Yeah. And also if you're like just a big fan of sake from that region, that's a great place. Like Chishida is from there. Amabuki is from there. He had Amabukis that I didn't know were a thing.
Oh, he had the New York Amabuki cups.
He did. He had the cups from the New York Amabukis.
We told him that we had the cup too and that we were at the event, and he was not impressed.
He didn't. I don't think he believed us. I think he thought we were lying to him. We're like, oh, they just mean they're from New York. No,
I just
really, we have the cups.
I just assumed that he had like so many other cool things that he was like.
He wasn't. Yeah, well, there's also that. But it was great. We had such a fun time. I think Fukuoka had some really good sake bars. There was another one that we went to the second night that was
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I don't have the name handy.
So
expecting to be talking about this tonight.
So we went there, and it turns out that they don't really have a set menu. It's just like whatever they have that day, and they kind of go through it pretty quickly. So you can go multiple times in a week, and it'll have something different. And Fukuoka seemed very neighborhoody. So if you're in that area, there's probably not a ton of places to go. So you probably would be, if you're drinking sake, you probably would be back at the same place. So I imagine that's great. Anyway,
we also realized like after we left there that we had like 2 or 3 different Instagram followers.
That's what I was going to say.
There.
Yeah, someone that we follow on Instagram just is there all the time, and I was like,
they follow us also. Yeah, it's a give and take. That place was really impressive. That was like one of the that sake bar. That last one was probably the highlight of Fukuoka for me.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we're drinking Dragon God.
We are.
And I want to know, how many dragons can you name?
How many dragons can I name? Okay, Puff the Magic Dragon.
Trogdor.
Oh. Tiamat.
I don't know what that is. Is that really a dragon?
Tiamat is a goddess who is a 5-headed dragon.
I have a great dragon, but I can't remember his name.
Oh, what's that?
And I know our friend Kia is watching, and she's going to make so much fun of me. I can't remember his name. The dragons from Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Can't remember their names. If you know the names of dragons from Game of Thrones, will you type them for me? Because I can't remember. Okay, well, those are those are my 3 dragons. You're next.
I think that I get extra points for Tiamat because she's a dragon and a god.
Wow, that's good.
Literally.
All right, my next dragons are, man, I'm okay. So maybe I'm a good interviewer, maybe I'm a bad interviewer, but I have these games to play with my interviewees, and I don't practice ahead of time. This is real life.
This is your pairing thing that you did with.
Yeah, we did this with Jessica too for her famous pairings. We did famous pairs. I did not practice. I wanted it to be even. I didn't want to like get ahead of them. They were so much better than me. I couldn't name anything. Anyway, I'm thinking about the dragons from Harry Potter now.
There are dragons in Harry Potter?
Yeah, Ron's brother goes to Romania and raises dragons, and then
I don't know any dragons.
And then Hagrid gets his own dragon, and then they use them in the Goblet of Fire. So they have to. Anyway, do you know any other dragons?
I probably do, but I can't remember right now.
You did much better than me. I only knew one actual name.
There's probably a lot of dragons in Dragonlance, but I can't remember any of their names. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think this was a good enough test of our mobile video?
I would say it's pretty good. We've got our.
Yeah, my legs over it.
It looks like the tripod is working pretty well. It's doing some pretty good autofocus, showing things.
By the way, while we were here, it seems that while we were here, the hand unit was delivered.
And we also
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, Jessica.
This is real life. I mean,
we knew there were dragons out there.
we should have just played with our viewers.
Yeah.
You guys are a lot smarter than us.
Yes.
But
Well,
I
or at
think
least
next
you know
time-
more about dragons. Though.
Yeah, next time we need to practice with the light. But yeah, I guess it's probably pretty good. Things that I learned: Dragon God, delicious, great for drinking. Great for drinking outside when it's a little 80s sunny going down on the balcony. Does not pair well with butter chips.
I would imagine most things do not pair well with butter chips.
Uh,
I was told that sake paired well with popcorn, and this is making me question that because that is basically popcorn.
Probably Japanese popcorn, which I imagine does not have butter all over it.
That is probably. Whoops. That is probably true. 80s. Oh yeah, it's probably like 75 right now.
It got up to 85 today, but yeah, the sun's going down. It's a little bit of a breeze, so I was
Yeah.
like 82.
And then if you look back here, you can see our baller air conditioner. Ooh, yeah, that chills the bedroom.
But yeah, it's quite nice outside.
Careful. We don't want to lose the phone.
Quite nice outside.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are all the questions that I have for you. Thank you for joining me
No, thank you.
outside while we drink our Ryujin Dragon God and peruse Sake today.
And so what's coming up for the sake notes?
Well, I know 50% of the sake notes will be at Soul of Sake tomorrow at Sakamai.
I'll be there. I will definitely be there hanging out. Basically catching up with some friends and just kind of chilling.
I know on August 22nd, the sake notes will be back at Rabbit House doing our custom tasting sets.
And this month it's going to be summer sake.
Summer sake.
We've got some good summer sakes in store. It's going to be a lot of fun. The summer flavors tend to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more kind of, the idea is it's really hot out and you want to have something that's going to be refreshing. And that's what summer sake is like.
And this is the best time to do that, I think, because we're saying goodbye to summer.
Yeah. And,
So it's our last one because the first day of fall, I think, is September 22nd. So
and our next one's going to be September 22nd.
first day of fall. I know what our theme is going to be. Spoiler alert, it's Hiroshi.
I don't know if we're going to get any of those by then. No, it's going to be too early. However, September is going to be a huge month for us content-wise, I think. Because, number one, we're going to be going to JFC's trade show, and we're going to try to do some video from the show floor, interviewing brewers and tasting a bunch of things. Just trying to get a feel for how things are at sake here in New York. And then also Joy of Sake is going to be in September, and we're going to be doing something very similar. And then Mutual Trading is also going to have their trade show during September, and we'll be probably talking to the Dragon God guys during that.
That'll be exciting. And we will be on site using all of our great new technology.
Yep. No Patreons yet. This is not incorporated.
We're just having fun.
We're just having fun.
Yeah. So we're on Facebook Live right now because YouTube doesn't really let you do / your name until you have a certain number of subscribers. So if you're not subscribed there and you want to, that would be helpful so that in the future we could just...
Yeah, we need YouTube subscribers in the worst way.
And it's like...
They're such assholes about this.
Yeah, you can't really do a lot of stuff until you have a certain number of subscribers. But Facebook is great. So if you're on Facebook, you're obviously here. We also have stuff on Instagram. If you have an Instagram, you want to follow that stuff. We do some pictures a lot.
We do a lot more.
I just posted a really cute picture of our little setup right here. Some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, September will be a big deal. The only other thing really in August will probably be the tasting event. Probably do one more show on a Sunday. We're going to try to do the shows every Sunday because we figure Saturday night people are out drinking.
I really want to do a Japan fan friendly show where we start at 7:30 in the morning so that our friends in Japan, it's 8 o'clock at night for them. If you're in Japan and you think that's a great idea, let him know because I think it's a great idea. But he's 7:30 is a little early.
This is going to be terrible. One other thing. Starting at the end of August, I'm going to be doing our next Nihonshu Cross video game series. I'm going to be playing...
Wait, I'm the interviewer. What are you going to be playing?
Oh, thank you. I'm going to be playing Yakuza Kiwami on the PlayStation 4 with sake. So every week or every time I play, maybe not every week, I will have hopefully a different sake to talk about while I play the game. And if you're unfamiliar with the series, Yakuza is in Japan known as Ryoga Gotoko, which basically means like a dragon. And you're basically it's basically a Japanese role playing game with beat 'em
Like a dragon god?
Right. No. It's basically a Japanese role playing game with like a lot of beat 'em up aspects, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of story. There's gonna be a lot of cutscenes. There's gonna be a lot of drinking.
And so you generally, tell everyone to bring their own sake, join you.
Definitely bring your own sake. Let's drink, talk about it a little bit. It's gonna be on our Twitch stream, and I'm gonna try to simulcast it into Facebook, but I don't know if that's gonna work yet.
I don't have any of my own segments. I tried to do My Shell makes sushi powder candy, and it was a little bit fun, but then I had to eat it at the end, and it was not good. It was very scary.
You need to do your other show idea.
I don't know what that is.
Now that we have a mobile unit that fully functions.
Oh, I do have another good idea.
She does have one.
We're
not going to spoil it though.
It's on site stuff. It's on site, so there's a lot of planning. And if it doesn't,
we just need to get a site to go with.
Just need a place to go, and then I'm all set.
Some ideas. The only thing that's bothering me is things keeps trying to autofocus every time we like lean in and out. It's like, wow.
Oh, thanks for subscribing, Jessica.
Jessica took care of us. She knows what we
Thank you. It'll be so much easier for us in the future when we finally get that. What is it, like 50? How many do we need?
Yeah, like it's either 50 or 100. It's ridiculous.
I think maybe it's like 2 different steps, but like they don't let you have like youtube.com/the sake notes unless the sake notes has 50 or 100 subscribers.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to link people and say like, oh, come visit us on YouTube.
Lowercase x, capital, yeah. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
All right, so this concludes the on-site test.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us. If you did, and if you're watching us on Facebook after the fact, you missed out on some silliness going on our Firescape.
I think that this segment should be called Fun Sake in Weird Places. And if you thought that this was fun, watching us drink sake and eat snacks on our Firescape, then you should go to our YouTube archive. We did probably my favorite episode that we've ever done, which was sake tasting and pairings, which we did in the hotel bathroom when we were in, where were we? Tokyo. In Tokyo. Very fun. That's it.
All right.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Enjoy your sake.